3, 2, 1. What's poppin', YouTube? It's your boy Anand Raman coming at you with the Instant Ramen Podcast, episode 11. Guys, we out here. We just, we doing this thing I like to call life. And we're all going to our job on a day-to-day basis. We're coming back home. We're watching Netflix. We're going back to sleep. I say break out of the cycle. Do something new today. Hopefully you guys are looking for ways to better yourself daily by exploring new facets in your life, talking to new people, creating new meaningful relationships, and just try to brighten someone's day. I try to do this thing lately. I've been trying to do it and practice it in my life where I talk to people without an ulterior motive. I just want to see if I can interact with them, have a conversation, and leave with them having a better day and me having a better day after everything's said and done. And I've just found that it's helped me brighten my day up. The other day, there was a lady on. I also believe in doing these acts without talking about them, but I just want to give you guys an example. The other day, I was in an elevator, and this woman came in, and she was looking a little down. I had a box of donuts because my office had a couple leftovers. So I was taking them home for my sister. And I offered her one, and she just started talking to me about her day and her job and stuff like that. And I felt like, the interaction just went to a point where she left feeling happy, and it made me happy because of that. I had nothing to gain from it. She wasn't my type at all. And, but I just feel like this is something that people should practice on a more regular basis. And with that in mind, I wanted to bring up a little something to you guys. Check this out. So this is a plushie toy that my sister has, a doll, if you will. And, at first look, it's Garfield. Nothing that crazy. But if you take a closer look, he has a message on him. What does that say? Good looks are everything. And that really had me thinking, guys. This world, it's materialistic, it's simplistic. People look at your looks firsthand, and that's the first opinion that they make of you. If you're attractive, you pretty much have the world by the balls in that one aspect. Obviously, your personality matters as well, but I've known a bunch of people who look like models, but as soon as they start talking, it's like word vomit, and they fuck up all of their chances of succeeding in life. But what I'm trying to get at is people, they're going to look at you for your looks firsthand because that's just the way humans function. And it's a sad fact of reality. You will have the upper hand if you're very good looking. And I think that that's something that will not change with the future. But I think that if people can try to change their outlook on that as well, it might be cool. One example of this is I wanted to go back to some shows that I've been watching on Cartoon Network that I used to watch actually as a kid, and one of them was Dexters Lab. I'm sure you guys are familiar with Dexter's Laboratory. Dude, there's one episode on that where it's called Handsome Dexter. I know you guys have definitely probably watched it, and it's the episode where Dexter is having a photo shoot at his school, and he wants to look good for it, but every pose he tries to take with the photo shoot, it goes horribly. Dee Dee, on the other hand, she always has a good photo, never a bad one. And that's because Dexter deems himself as unattractive. So with the coming of the episode, and Dexter's a smart dude. Come on. Dexter, he's got everything going for him from an outsider's perspective. He's got a giant lab. He's one of the smartest people in the entire world. And the only thing he doesn't have going for him is attractiveness. And that's broken him down so much that people look at him as a dork, as a nerd, but they don't know how smart he actually is. So anyway, for the purpose of this photo shoot, he goes about and invents a machine that changes his face. He first analyzes the structural composition of all of the most attractive people in the world, and then he puts a compilation of that together and then manipulates his face to look like Handsome Dexter. That is what he becomes. And it gets to the point where Dee Dee can't even recognize him at first. And so he goes to take this photo, and you can instantly see after he's transformed into this different person, he's vain. He's just, all he cares about is looks, and he calls Dee Dee a commoner. He goes, get out of my way, commoner. By the way, Dexter's French accent, fun fact, Gennady, or however you say his name, Gennady Tartarovsky, the guy who created Dexters Lab and Powerpuff Girls and stuff, he said that he first started it off as a comedic French accent, but then he made it more German, Russian sounding later on. I always wondered why that was, and I feel like it might be because the German thing is kind of like, I don't know, like more because Dexter always emphasizes like, perfection and efficiency, and he wanted things a certain way, and he was very OCD about it, and those are some qualities of that particular race, but it's not like too, it just seems fitting for Dexter to have that kind of accent, but that's going off topic. So anyway, he goes to have this photo shoot, and he's acting all vain and, egotistical, but then as soon as the photo is about to be taken of him, his face melts like a candle due to the heat from the photo shoot. And if you guys can't, well, I thought this was the deeper meaning to it, is they were trying to say that beauty is temporary. In this life, you might look like the most perfect person with the perfect abs and the perfect chiseled face and the perfect hair, but that only lasts up until the point you're 30s or 40s, and then slowly it starts withering away, and then what do you have left to show to the world? That's always how I felt about these Instagram models who have millions and millions of followers just because of their ass. Their ass is like perfect, and that's why they have millions of people coming and liking their shit. What's going to happen to them once they don't have that anymore? They're going to be broken down as a person. So I always say, work on yourself, work on your personality, and try to become a better human being instead of just focusing on the outside. But, I'm not trying to get into a diatribe here. I was just finding like all of this stuff while analyzing, these cartoons that I used to watch, man, because I used to be addicted to watching Cartoon Network shows. They were so fucking good in the 90s, man. It was nothing better, And even at the end of this episode, literally Dexter goes, it's the beauty from the inside that matters, So I don't need to have the perfect face. And Dee Dee goes, not if you want to be popular. And that's, the shows just like had these subtle things that you wouldn't really get as a kid, but you would get as an adult, and you're like, holy shit, this show has layers to it, Another show that would be an example of this is Johnny Bravo. He has the looks, he has the amazing body, but as soon as he starts talking, people can just see that he's an egotistical, narcissistic douchebag, and things just don't pan out for him, But man, that show was great, huh? He was the original fuckboy. If there was to be a Cartoon Network fuckboy, it would be Johnny Bravo. That was an amazing show as well. I don't know why he always wore sunglasses. I guess that's to accentuate the douchebagginess, Another one, Powerpuff Girls, man. You know what? I kind of want to start doing this, like the episodes of where I'm just analyzing different cartoon shows that I used to watch, because I feel like there's so many deeper layers of meaning to all of these cartoons that I really want to go into further analysis of them. I think it would be really cool and fun. Powerpuff Girls, man, it's basically a virgin professor stuck in his basement, ain't getting no pussy, and so he's just fucking, they were test tube babies too, because he's just throwing in the mix, and then he's like sugar, spice, and everything nice, and then he added an extra ingredient, chemical X. First off, the Powerpuff Girls, they were an accident, right? That's the whole premise of the show. If they were an accident, that means that Professor Utonium busts a nut into that mix, yo. That's what I'm saying. Chemical X's. They were test tube babies, and and they clearly say in the theme song, he created the perfect little girls. They weren't perfect little girls because they didn't have fingers. Yo, I mean, your boy just saying. I'm just saying. They had nubs for hand. Like, they didn't have fingers, you know what I'm saying? They had little hot dog fucking sausages for hands. And if they were the perfect little girls, I disagree. Because you know what they couldn't do? Pick up a pen. Hey, the Powerpuff Girls, you want to become a writer? Tough luck. What happens after the crime fighting? You want to work out? You want to do some pull-ups? Well, good luck with that. And, I'm not making a slight on disabled people or nothing. I'm just saying, if you're going to call them the perfect little girls, call them the differently abled perfect little girls or some shit, because they had some flaw. But still, They might just be the perfect little girls because they were still able to pick up objects without fingers. And I feel like, damn, they must have had telekinesis or some shit in that joint. And you know that, Bubbles is the biggest thought of them all because she's just an emotional coaster from guy to guy. She's just fucking on a regular basis. Like Buttercup and Blossom, they got their shit together, they're realistic. But Bubbles, she seems like she the one to suck it deep on the first date, you know what I mean? Because she's just like, I want this guy to like me for who I really am. And I think I could see this going really deep in the future. And those rowdy rough boys, they went to fucking Claptown because they were literally the opposite of the Powerpuff Girls. Also, every one of the villains in the Powerpuff Girls had, I don't know what this is called. There's a particular word for this in the English language, but their names were like, first letters were all the same. The rowdy rough boys, the Powerpuff Girls, the Gang Green Gang. That's that triple G. You know what I'm saying? Fuck the KKK. You got the GGG, that Gang Green Gang, boy. And a Mojo Jojo. I think that the Powerpuff Girls, they definitely used to hook up with the rowdy rough boys. And why are in today's society, if you created something like that, the females of the world would be like, why are the boys the rowdy rough ones? Why can't the girls be the rowdy rough ones? And that's the case in today's society. I find that too many females are switching on the masculine role, and it's not really giving guys much to work with here, man. Fuck, I feel like almost, if we're not allowed to be men in today's society, then what do we have left for us? It's almost like you have to apologize for being a dude. And I find that to be straight up rude. And you're a prude. You know what I mean? Gertrude? Because I think that we're all born, there's a yin and yang to everything, man. And fucking, if I have to apologize for standing in an elevator too close to a woman without even realizing it, then what do I have left, man? Just chop off my balls and leave me to dry in a room, you know what I mean? Because I think that it's just become the cool thing to diss guys nowadays. I literally just went on Facebook yesterday and I saw a post that some girl shared that said, "Are you feeling attacked as being a man right now? Why don't you try smiling more?" And I smile all the time, dude. I'm a bucket full of sunshine, motherfucker. I smile like it is my job. But if you felt attacked, first of all, don't tell me what to do, And second, if you felt attacked, would you be smiling? I don't know about you, but a jaguar jumps out of the woods and rips your fucking face off. I want to see your facial muscles contort into the form of a fucking smile, You want to know how I got these scars? It just makes me think, man. And also, I have this theory, guys. I really, truly believe this. I feel like there's the ebb and flow of things, the yin and yang. How there's a Samurai Jack, there's also an Aku, which, by the way, kickin' show. Man, that was the one show that really hyped me up, huh? He had to get back, he was sucked away from his family, back to the past. This samurai, for those of you that don't know, this was a show on Cartoon Network called Samurai Jack, where it was just this guy who was sucked into a portal by this this black beast of a guy named Aku. And, he had to fight amongst the demons and shit, and try to get back to his reality. And that show too, everything just makes me feel like there's a good and there's a bad in life, and there's always got to be balance. That's the one thing that's so important. So, I feel like now it might be the cool thing to be a girl, and it might be like bad to be a guy. Whereas in the 1980s or 70s, one might argue it was the cool thing to be a guy. It was more power for men. Now it's more power for women. The scales have been, they're teeter-tottering. And I feel like within the next 10 to 15 years, it's going to be cool to be a guy again. But it's also going to be cool to be a woman, because there's going to be that fine balance. At first it was, men here, women here. Now it's women here, men here. And then people are going to realize, hey, the patriarchy, all that bullshit, it don't exist. And everyone should just be a decent human being to each other. And it's going to, what's going on there? Is that equilibrium? Are the scales balancing themselves out? What's happening over here? Is this a dance move? I don't know. But, and then it's all just going to fall into place. That's what I'd like to believe in an idealistic world. An idealistic world. Sorry, I blanked out for a second there. What else did I want to talk about? Let's see. I really think that it would be cool to analyze some of these cartoons and go real deep into them, because I believe these writers had a lot to say with what they were going for, and it would be really cool to like figure this stuff out with you guys. Which other shows did I really like to watch? I kind of don't want to go into it even now, because I want to like save it for when I really want to get deep into them, so I guess I'll save it for now. One thing that has been on my mind lately is I feel like in today's age, it's almost like hard for me to stay on track with my diet, and like I just feel like I'm cheating myself, because I have a lot of things going for me right now. It's just I want to stick to a schedule where I can really be the best version of myself. And so I've had these ideas that I've wanted to improve on, but I just feel like my diet is the one thing that's kind of keeping my mind clouded. And so it's hard with people putting you down at every turn that you take. You're just like, oh, you don't know how to word it, so you're like, I'm doing this diet, I'm doing this thing, and then suddenly they think you're better than them. Oh, is this guy fucking better than me? What, you think because you're eating a steak and some veggies that you think my pasta and my pizza is too fucking unhealthy? I mean, I didn't say that, dude. I'm just saying that I want to eat like a carnivorous, like more plant-based. Oh, so you think because you throwing fancy words at me that I'm a fucking degenerate? No, I'm not saying that at all, good sir. I'm saying that I think that mood and diet. Oh, why don't you take all of your food items and shove it up your fucking ass, buddy? And that's just how it goes nowadays, So I'm beginning to have this overarching belief that I think I'm just way too, I'm too open to people. I need to keep some things a beautiful little secret. Take things that other people aren't going to appreciate as much, and they're things that are bettering you. It might be you're trying to stay sober without drinking. You're trying to learn a new habit, but you haven't really started yet. You're trying to get your fitness regime on track. Take it and keep it in a little safe. Lock it away until you've really worked at it, until you slaved at it, and you can say that you've conquered that one thing, and then tell people all you fucking want. Because until then, there's going to be naysayers. There's going to be people planting a little seed into your brain. They're going to put a little thing of doubt right there in the back of your head, and they're going to say, don't, man, I've tried that before, it just doesn't work. Oh man, there's a lot of science that says that that working out doesn't really help you. There's a lot of things that say that learning a new habit is just all about determination. They're gonna say all kinds of crap that you don't want to hear. So just keep it to yourself, man. Keep it to your goddamn self. Withhold some information once in a while. And I'm guilty of that too. I stayed sober for like half a month recently, and I fucked it up this weekend by going and getting hammered, plastered, as you would say, and the rest of the next day was just a complete waste. I wasted one day of my weekend just recovering, and I think that that's something that you got to realize the patterns, and you just have to break out of them at some point, man. So that's going on. I have My dog, Snowy, who we rescued from the streets, he's just gone to get his flu shot um, right now. I think he's probably going to be like, why the fuck did you pretend like we're going out for a walkie and really you're going for a little Dr. Talkie Talkie and a little Pokey Pokey here and there, you know? And he's just gonna like get an injection in his bum. It's good for him though. Imagine like being a dog, loving these people you call your pack and your tribe as much as you possibly can. Like you would give anything for them in the most simplistic way that you've been created to do so. And then suddenly they just take you in their car. They take you into this room, a cold room. You're put on a cold aluminum fucking tray. And there's just a guy who comes in with something covering his face. And he looks like, where's his nose and his mouth? Who the fuck knows? And he's got like white hands like the devil. And he comes in with a thing that looks like a chew toy, but really it's a stabby machine. And you're just like, why have you done this to me? You know, and that happens every couple months. And then you just come back home and you come back to loving your people again. And you're like, I trust you guys. And that's being a dog. Oh, man. What else? Usually I do these things while drinking coffee or drinking water or something, but I just had to like record real quick because I have only so much time before the cleaner comes and things like that. So I want to make sure that I'm able to record this at least once a week. I want to have guests on here as well, but that's just it's going, you know, it's going, but it's a little it's more complicated having guests on here than I thought because I can really speak my mind clearer when I'm alone as opposed to when I have another energy in the room. I'm just kind of like trying to read how they want to go about things. It's new to me. I shouldn't shy away from that fact, so I should go about and try it out more. But yeah, recently, one of my friends really reminded me of what it's like to penetrate society like in the Matrix, man. Because he's this guy who really gets stuff done in a way that, like, you know, he might, like, use... It's kind of like a bullshitter, but not quite. It's a person who bullshits a lot to get things done. And you know he's just a guy that can get shit done if you know it needs to be done. You know, like for instance, we were going to this one bar, and he wanted to get us seats. So he calls up the place, and before even calling up the place, he looked up a video on YouTube and found out the owner's name, and then called up the place and goes, "Hi, I'd like a reservation. I actually know the owner." Oh, and he put his name in there, and he said, "Could you get us priority seats?" And we got in, we got priority seats, and we were treated nice, you know. So it just reminded me of how much of society we don't really realize we can penetrate up until that point, man. I remember being fucking in the ninth grade, and my cousin was explaining to me and my other cousin, if you guys remember Modern Warfare 2, Call of Duty, there was this one perk that you could get on one of your guns, and it was called bullet penetration. And as soon as my cousin tried explaining it to me and my other cousin, we were goofballs. We literally just hit puberty, and we heard penetration, and that's all we could hear, and we bust out laughing, and we're like, "Oh my god, yo, bullet penetration!" And so, you know, we were just giving him shit for that, and he was like, "Come on, guys, just grow up already," even though he was the same age as us. How about people that are the same age as you and then tell you to grow up? Like, growing up isn't that great because you're getting closer to death. I've known people who are 50 or 60 who still seem like they need to mature, but I'm not going to tell them to grow up. Life's going to make you grow up. How about that? Catch me outside. How about that? The ultimate thing that could catch you outside is death. Not whatever her name is, that stupid ass girl. It's Bad Bobby. Bad Bobby. It's yeah, death can catch you outside, death can catch you inside. It can catch you anywhere. How about that? How about death? You know? You never know when you're walking around and shit can just hit the fan, dude. Your head could hit the fan and you could just die that way. You could be walking outside and a construction worker could drop a fucking crane thing on you. So live life to the fullest, but not too fully that the audio just paused right there, so I apologize for that. But yeah, live life to the fullest, but not too full where you're getting in the way of others. Just, I got pretty preachy on this one, man. Damn, wow. I hope you guys enjoyed that, though. With the next coming episodes, I'm going to try to analyze some more Cartoon Network shows that I used to watch as a kid and the deeper meanings that they have and analyze some of them. And I hope you guys enjoyed this one. My name is Anand Raman. This is the Instant Ramen Podcast. It's your boy,